So I happened upon this one here, oh gosh, a month ago when I was walking through this cemetery here, and it caught my eye because it says in there, killed in action in Germany, October the 7th, 1944. Staff Sergeant John W. Laye, L-A-Y-E, 6396399. That must be his serial number, I'm assuming. Born July the 29th, 1919, killed in action in Germany, October 7th, 1944. We cannot say, we will not say he's dead. He's just away with a cheery smile and a wave of the hand. He wandered into another land. Now that emblem up there on the top up there is 2nd Armored Division, which was known as Hell on Wheels in World War II. I think that's where they got their name. They actually started not too far from here at Fort Benning, Georgia, which is 60 plus miles in that direction. And Johnny W. Laye, who's from right around here, his family's all laid to rest right here next to him. So he was just a country boy that came out of this small southwest Georgia town, went in their service, and either was drafted or joined. Trained right over here close by home at Fort Benning, Georgia, in a armored division, a tank brigade. I don't know if he was in a tank or what he was doing in the service. I think General George Patton was head of that tank brigade when they were formed out here at Fort Benning. Probably got together in 1939 or 40s when they probably started doing that out at Fort Benning. I know that the 2nd Armored Division landed in North Africa and probably Sicily and probably part of Italy, and they also went back and to England and staged for the Normandy invasion. And I think the 2nd Armored Division came in on the 2nd or 3rd day of D-Day, D-Day +3, and fought all the way to Berlin, I'm assuming. From his death date, killed in action October the 7th, that's when the 2nd Armored Division was attacking the German border, something called I think it's called the Ziegfeld line, or it was a boundary between Germany and Germany's border that was supposed to help slow down the Allied advancement towards Berlin, which was attacked by the 2nd Armored Division sometime around the beginning of October. Might have been October the 3rd. I have to look the date up. It's probably in history somewhere. And there may be some information about that battle that may include exactly where they fought in Germany. But it says here he was killed in action October 7th, 1944. I'm going to spray it today with some of this cleaner just to give it a little cleaning. This is called D2. You've seen some of our videos that Robert and I have. Robert uses this a lot. This is sort of the first time I've ever used it. It's sort of new to me. Spray it on. Just let it sit there. Just let it do its work. It reacts with the atmosphere and the elements, and it cleans these growths that are on here, this algae whatever you call this stuff. It's living organisms that form on here. I'm running out of it now. But I'm going to use the last of it on this one here to give this sergeant clean stone here. Sarge. Figure he was just a young man when he died in a foreign war across the ocean, far from home, far from his family, far from all his loved ones. Young man too. What would that be? It'd be 25 years old. 24, 25 years old. Is my math correct? Oh, I missed a spot right there too. I'm out of it. I'll have to get some more. I'll have to order some more. It's very expensive chemical called D2. So, only imagine what it was like to be in Europe fighting the Germans in October 1944. This young man from down here in the country, old farm boy, old country boy, way off in a foreign land somewhere. He gave his life. For freedom, I guess. Freedom for other people. Fighting in another country, wasn't even our country, somewhere else he was fighting. We're gonna salute you today, Johnny, and we're gonna come back and see if we can clean it up a little bit more. Maybe when we come back, we'll have some more information about you. Maybe we'll have a story we can read or something like that. There it is right there. You can see it's starting to get that brown look to it. Let's see how it looks in the front. Oh, it's cleaned up a little bit. It's cleaned up a little bit, but it rained right after I put it on there. So we may give it a few more days. And I may come back and treat it one more time when I've got a good dry spell, 5 or 6 good dry days, and give it a good treatment. And we'll tell you the whole story about this young man right here when I come back. So I'm not going to treat it today, because that D2 that we use is expensive. It costs quite a bit. Robert left me a gallon. I think maybe one of the viewers may have sent it to Robert. I can't remember exactly who did it, but thank you if you were the one watching right now. So I'm going to get some more of that D2. I think I'm going to come back and I'm going to wait a couple days, come back and give it a good scrubbing and see if we can maybe scrape some of that off there too. Yeah. So let's give it a few days. It's supposed to rain here this evening. I don't want to put it on there and it wash off. So every time I've sprayed this, we've had a terrible rain come through here. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit different this time. Brought me some water and I brought my brush. And I'm gonna try and clean it up. Sergeant John Laye, L-A-Y-E. I know a little bit about the Laye family, not a lot. The Laye family, actually originally spelled their name L-A-Y. L-A-Y. And I think John's great uncle came here when the Creek Indians left out and settled here, and Grandpa was a little child, and came to this Southwest Georgia community and made a life, and raised a lot of Lays, L-A-Y, and somewhere along the way someone added an E to it, and I don't know who did that, but at some time, I think it was post-Civil War, someone added an E to the name. This particular gentleman right here was raised up right here in this little small community, with school right over there. Matter of fact, school was right over there next to the cemetery. And walked these old red clay roads with a fishing pole on his shoulder. Here's a little kid, I imagine, fishing in his favorite creek or pond or something like that. Probably took the old 410, went out and did some squirrel hunting, shot a few rabbits, and lived a good life of a young teenager until one day when he was almost a man, got out of high school, he went and joined the Army. I don't know why. I don't know why he joined the Army, but I guess he wanted to. I'm doing some scrubbing here. John Willard Laye, born the 29th of July 1919, died 7th of October 1944. He was 25 years old. He didn't live long, did he? You'll notice it says they're killed in action in Germany. We cannot say, we will not say he's dead. He's just away with a cheery smile and a wave of the hand. He wandered into another land. So this is the 2nd Armored Division logo, and I'm gonna wash it off with some water and show it to you a little bit better. They called them Hell on Wheels. In 1940, I don't know when he joined the Army, but in 1940, Colonel George Patton was put in charge of the 2nd Armored Division. It was a heavy tank battalion, I think that's how they word it, at Fort Benning, Georgia, which is only about 65 miles in that direction. This man right here, John, was in service at Fort Benning, Georgia, being trained as a tank man. And the 2nd Armored Division, I think in 42, I don't remember what day it was in 42, but in 42 they invaded North Africa, landed at, I think they call that place Casablanca or something like that. Matter of fact, I think it was in November. I don't know if George Patton was in charge then. I know that by then he was a general and he may have been doing something else. But they fought through North Africa for probably less than a year. And then they moved to Sicily. Sometime in July 43, they moved to Sicily and invaded Sicily, the 2nd Armored Division. And I'm pretty sure John was there. And on the 9th of June, which will be 3 days after the D-Day invasion, the 2nd Armored Division landed at Omaha Beach. They didn't come in on the first day. They came in on 3 days afterwards, and they fought their way all the way to Germany. And it says there on October the 7th, he died, killed in action. Sometime around October the 3rd, the 2nd Armored Division started their attack on the fatherland. They called it fatherland, on the soil of Germany. 2nd Armored Division. They started their assault into the Germany, and it was a place called the, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I'd love to hear your comments. I thought they called it the Siegfried or Siegfried line or something like that. It was the last line of defense for the Germans. 3 or 4 days afterwards, this man was killed in action. There were over 1,000 2nd Armored Division soldiers killed in World War II. It's hard to believe that this young man right here left this beautiful, beautiful farmland right here and went all the way across the ocean to fight and die. And here he is laid to rest, and I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna try and get him a flag. And I don't know where his family's at. I think his mom and daddy's next to him, and possibly his brothers and sisters here. I don't know if it's any other Lays in this neighborhood or living around this part of the country or not. Anyway, I'm gonna salute you today, John W. Laye. We're gonna salute you today, sir.